Hey everyone, how you doing? If you are new here, I'm Nicol Concilio and welcome to the video. Today I got sent a really special PR package from Hung Vanngo, and if you don't know who he is a celebrity makeup artist to the stars. Selena Gomez is his client amongst other, and he came out with a makeup line and sent it to me. I thought it would be fun to play around with it here on YouTube for you guys because I owe you videos, okay? I know. Also, this makeup kit is iconic. So I think we have a bunch of eyeshadow palettes, some eyeliners, blushes, and lipsticks. So let's go ahead and try everything out. You guys, we have 8 eyeshadow palettes. I don't think there's ever been a launch in beauty history where a brand releases 8 makeup palettes. I kind of love that. The packaging is super sleek. It's like velvety smooth. And let me just show you guys the eyeshadow palette. This one is called Wonderful Warm. Ooh. Generous green and yellow. Brilliant blue, rebellious red and pink, passionate purple. This is so pretty, this one. Composed cool, outstanding orange, and new neutral. Guys, I have no idea which one to use. I wish you guys could tell me right now. We have a blush and bronzer. I love how big the pans are, by the way. 2 nude lipsticks, 1 lip liner. Oh, I just broke the tip of this. And 2 eyeliners. I'm between these 2 palettes. I'm not sure which one I want to use. Part of me says let's just go for it and use the smoky palette because I haven't done a smoky eye in so long. And I feel like last video I did a similar makeup look to these colors. So I think we're just gonna go with this one. We gotta first prep our skin. I'm using my same little favorite moisturizer at the moment. This is the Tatcha Dewy Milk Moisturizer. I really like it because it's not as heavy as the Dewy Skin Cream. It's very, very lightweight. Oh, the cat is in the back being a menace. But yeah, I really like it because it's so lightweight and it also kind of like has this little gripping moment to it. So it sits really nice underneath foundation. And another product I just recently added to my routine is this Rose Glazing Mist. Now, when this first came out, I saw a lot of people raving about it and I was like, guys, it's a fucking mist. Like, hello. I gotta say, I now see the hype. Not only is the nozzle where it sprays out really unique, it does such a great job at literally getting the entire perimeter of your face. I've never had a setting spray with this type of nozzle before. And if you've tried this, you know what I'm talking about. It's kind of hard to explain. But I just go ahead and spritz my entire face. Now we're ready to start. I'm gonna start off first with our brows, and I'm using the same brow pen that I used in the last video. This is the Anastasia Micro Stroke Brow Pen. And we're just gonna fluff up my brows right now. Add some definition to these brows, honey. This brow pen is freaking awesome. I'm using the color Granite, which is a little bit darker than what I used in the last video. I think I like this one a little bit better. It's more cool toned for my eyebrows because, I don't know, my eyebrows kind of are just cool toned. The rest of my hair is kind of warm. Or mousy, if you will. I'm not kidding. Whoa, hello. I'm not kidding when I say that mist from Rhode, like it literally looks like, I mean, you could see the reflection of my lighting in my forehead. Like that is iconic. I feel like you guys can really see my pimples and my texture right now. I have been on birth control for 13 years. I mean, since I was 18 and I'm now 32. My skin is just going through it. And I know, listen, I understand that this is nowhere near as bad as it could be. And I'm very grateful that the pimples are only on my forehead and not all over my face. But it's new to me, okay? I'm not like used to looking at myself and seeing this much texture on my forehead. So now not only am I navigating back to YouTube, I'm also navigating my new skin. We're gonna use the Maybelline Super Lock Brow Gel. I love this stuff. It is incredible for my curly brow hairs, and you can go over it a couple times and don't have to worry about getting like a white cast, or you know how sometimes that happens, it gets a little crunchy or crusty or waxy. This is one of the few brow gels that actually doesn't do that. You can go over it quite a few times. To prep our eyes, I'm using the Fenty Wear Even Concealer, and I'm just gonna dab a little dots. Take my beauty sponge that's filled with cat hair and blend it out. I feel like I'm kind of taking a trip down memory lane when I sit here and do my makeup, because back in the day, I start thinking of like all the products that I used to use, and I was obsessed with that Benefit primer. God, what was the name of it? I don't know. I used to use a lot of eyeshadow primers. There was a P. Louise one that I was using for a very long time, and now I'm just like, girl, concealer will do. All right. I haven't played around with the dark eyeshadow paddle. Right. Yeah, it's a paddle. I haven't played around with a dark eyeshadow palette like this in a very long time. I feel very intimidated right now. If you are someone that doesn't wash your brushes as much as you should, hi, it's me. I'm the problem, it's me. I definitely recommend investing in one of these like color switch things. This is from Rare Beauty, and you just basically smush your brush off into it, and it's supposed to help take off any color that is left on the brush from previous eyeshadows. I also use it for my blush, anything. You can really use it for whatever. I'm very interested in these formulas because they're described as like a 3D velvet bouncy formula. So let's put it to the test, shall we? All right, let's just set our eyes with white right now because I'm really scared to go in. I'm not even gonna lie. It's also kind of good to set the concealer in general, because if you go right on in on top of a wet primer or concealer, the shadow is just gonna kind of stick in that one area. So it's kind of good to get it prepped with a lighter color. If you really want white eyeshadow to show up, you kind of have to use a white base, whether it's a concealer or a primer. I'm gonna use a teensy little weensy brush. This is the Sigma Detailed Blending Brush, and I'm gonna go in with number 7. I love that these are just like numbered and not like Optimus gray, or like, do you know what I mean? I hate when shades are like that. Like, okay, just call it gray, bitch. Yeah, we're gonna use this cool tone brown. And for some reason, unknown to me, this eye blends eyeshadow better than this eye. This eyelid is also lower than this eyelid. I have a wonky eye. I don't know why. It's the same thing as like having one good eyebrow and one bad eyebrow, okay? And I'm following the shape of my natural eye, and always start in the middle, like right here when you're going in the crease. And that kind of goes with anything for eyeshadow, because where you put it first is where the most color is gonna be deposited. Okay, these are super creamy. I now know what they mean by velvet. They really just glide on very nicely. It's also very buildable, so you don't really have to be afraid of these colors, but still definitely tap off your brush. I wonder what these are retailed at. I have to look online, because in the card information that they sent over, it didn't have prices. I'm gonna use shade number 6, and this is a Smith 230 brush. This is one of my favorite brushes. I don't have a lot of Smith brushes. Are they even still in business? Like, I don't really see anybody talking about brushes anymore. Remember back in the day, we used to make like dedicated brush videos? Man, the times have fucking changed. But I'm gonna go ahead and start in the middle and mainly work this in the outer corner of the eye. I don't want to bring it too close to the inner corner, because that's when things can kind of get a little bit muddy or look like you have a dark eye or a black eye. We're just focusing it out right here, and then I like to do circular motions towards the tail end. That way it just isn't as harsh. Like I said, I always do my eyes first. I don't know, I try to switch things up and keep it different and fun for you guys, but I can't do it, because then if shadow falls out and I have foundation on, then I gotta wipe it off, reapply, then I'm wiping off my primer and all the other things I use to prep my skin. It's just not worth it, you know what I mean? There's a fly in here. You guys are definitely gonna see the cat like flying around the room like the fucking Exorcist. So far, these shadows are very creamy and easy to use. I feel like they're blending in with each other really well. Now on to my bad eye, the eye that always gives me problems. I look back at old YouTube videos of myself where I would use like 1,000 transition shades, and they would all like bleed into each other, and I'm like, girl, what are you doing? I think, what would you call this? A tapered brush? This is a precision firm blender from Sigma. I'm gonna use this and use the black color, shade number 8, and just get the very tip of this brush. I'm just gonna use this as like a detailer right in this outer area. I wish you guys could touch these formulas because they really feel like velvet. I'm gonna take a little bit onto the eye, just tapping it on. When you do these like tapping motions on the eye, it also makes sure that there's no harsh lines. This is a really great technique to use when you kind of want to have that gradient. You can definitely tell that this was created by a makeup artist, because there is barely any fallout on my face right now. I am impressed. God, this eye. Can I just Control C, Control V, like, please? Like, look at it. It's like, hello? I'm gonna take a fluffy brush that we haven't used yet. Oh, there is blue on my hands. Where the hell did that come from? And I'm wearing all white. This is a disaster waiting to happen. I used to wear sweatpants every time I filmed a YouTube video because I would just take whatever was on my hands and rub them to hell on my pants. And those would be like my makeup pants. Kind of like how artists have art pants, I guess. Taking this brush with no product, I'm gonna go ahead and just fluff out the outer edges of the shadow. That way everything just blends a little bit more seamlessly. Sometimes when you do this, you actually wind up taking away some of the product. So if you have to go back in and add a little bit more, you definitely can. This is just a good way to make sure that the edges are really blended. These shimmer shades, you guys, wow. I don't know which one to use. Maybe we could use both. Taking color number 1, I'm gonna go ahead and put that on the center of the eye. Wow. That is very, very pretty. Oh, that blended so nice together. I didn't wet my brush or anything either, so this is just the shadow on its own. I'm gonna take color number 4 and now just work that on the inner to the middle so that the two shimmers meet. Oh, wow. And then you can just tap so that they kind of blend together. It's like a winter wonderland. I love this formula. Listen, I've been around for 10 years. I know a good formula when I see one, and this is that. This shadow looks even more beautiful in person. The camera's not even picking up how beautiful it is. Let's see, I'm gonna put down some of this Sephora collection tape, and let's see if we can try and make a little wingy. I try my best to get everything as even as possible, but you never really know until you take the tape off. We just say a prayer. Dear eyeshadow God, we have been good. Please give us a straight wing. All right, moment of truth. Perfect. Oh, please be good. Perfect. Thank you, eyeshadow gods. We're gonna use my favorite lashes, the Kiss Impress. These are the ones that I used in the last video that already have glue on them, and you apply them underneath the lash. They last for 24 hours. I've slept in them before, and they have a version now that lasts up to 5 days that also works equally as good. When you apply these, I definitely recommend getting as close to your mirror as possible, and you also do not want to put it on your skin, because if you do that, they're not gonna stick and they're gonna look like shit. The amount of cat hair in this room is diabolical. It's stuck everywhere. Lashes are on, and then I just go in with some mascara to like enhance them a little bit. Since we have such dark eyeshadow on, I kind of feel like a mascara is a must to make the lashes pop a little more. Like I said, these are pretty natural lashes. So adding a little mascara is definitely gonna help. This right here is exactly why I do my eyeshadow first, because I just wiped my face and had a little bit of black on my forehead and it made a mess. Foundation, I'm gonna be using these, oh my God, the amount of cat hair. Guys, please, what do I do? Like, her perch is right next to my window, and I dust my desk like every day, but it still is everywhere. Like, yeah, my dogs shed and stuff, but this cat hair is a bitch. This is shade 125 Warm, and I'm pretty sure I just got some of it on my new pants. Love that for me. I don't even know why I bother with wearing white. Like, I truly don't. But yeah, I've really been liking this foundation. I've used it quite a few times since the first video, and it just is so nice. I love how lightweight it feels, and the coverage is really nice as well. You could still see my skin and my freckles peek through, which I like. And since I have some texture and pimples on my forehead, I do kind of like a more matte vibe on the forehead because it does a good job at not making the texture pop out as much. And since my skin is like extra dry on my forehead right now, I really make sure to not swipe the foundation, because if I do that, it could cling to dry patches. We don't want that. We do not, girl. We got enough problems going on with my skin right now. We do not need the accentuation of the shoe leather that is my forehead. I'm gonna show you guys at the end of this video too how to blend your eyeshadow in with your foundation, but that's more of like a finishing touch since we do our eyeshadow first. We wanna make sure everything is dried down and matte before we do that. I feel like I'm looking ghostly with these dark eyes. I've really been loving this Anastasia contour stick. It's great because the color is very cool tone as compared to like like a bronzer where they can be a little bit more yellow, warm, orange. So this I really love. I'm gonna show you guys how I like to apply it. I take a brush that's kind of like dense like this, and I just tap, 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 and then I go right on in and just start blending it downwards. I start high and blend down. If I start too low and go up, I get a little muddy. So what I've been liking lately is just starting higher. That way I know exactly how low I want to bring this contour, and it makes such a difference. I've really noticed such a difference with Anastasia's products. I just really love what she's dropping. Another cat hair. A lot of people who have dry skin tend to stay away from foundations that are matte, and I totally understand it. Like, I am definitely one of those people too. But the cool thing about using a matte foundation when you have dry skin, it actually sets. You don't really have to go in with a lot of powder and set it. It's kind of the lesser of two evils in a way, because yes, even though it is matte, you can use setting sprays and misters to bring moisture to the areas that you want, and you don't have to use as much powder. So I had a little health scare back in July. I'm okay. I'm totally fine. Don't worry. Because of it, I gained a little bit of weight, and I feel like I'm seeing it in my face, like down here, and it's driving me up a wall. You guys know I have my history with anorexia, so I try to give myself grace. I mean, I have come such a long way with my eating disorder. I mean, truly, 2015 Nicole would have starved herself. And now I'm just like, I love my body. My body keeps me safe. If it's not in the shape that I want it to be, that's fine, you know? And let's just contour our nose for old time's sakes. I'm gonna take my Wear Even concealer, the same one that I used on my eyes, and try my best to draw a straight line. We did it, pretty good. I'm gonna let that sit for a minute. Rhode launched in Sephora. I did manage to pick up one of these blushes that I've never tried before. It's called Piggy, and this was the color that I tried to order back in the day but sold out almost immediately because it's gorgeous. But I just filmed a little haul of my Rhode stuff that I bought, and I really, really like this blush. It is very, very pretty, and it's very, very creamy, so it sits really nice on top of this matte foundation. And I bring it out all the way to here. Guys, don't worry, we're gonna put concealer. It's not gonna look this crazy, but one of the things that I've changed in my routine, I am now applying my blush first and my contour first before concealer, whereas in the past, I've done the opposite. I've done concealer, then contour, then blush. I just like the way it blends out better this way. Another cat hair? And don't worry, I didn't forget about the powder, blush, and bronzer. You guys know I apply my creams first, and then we'll go in with those products. If Fenty ever gets rid of this concealer, I am gonna lose my mind. It's just, I mean, I got married in this concealer. It is amazing. It is so nice when you find a concealer that actually works. You know what I mean? You see, it just blends together so nicely. And I barely even bring it down. I just kind of like glide it to the side. All right, now we need to blend this mess on my nose and pray to God that it works out. I haven't been contouring my nose as much because my skin has just been so dry. Okay, it's working. It's working. Thank you, nose gods, for cooperating. Or shall I say dry skin gods. So there's no pressed powder or anything in this, so I'm just gonna go ahead and use my Laura Mercier. Whenever you're trying out new products, it's also good to use products that you know already work well with your skin and blend out good. Tap off the excess and start in the middle and just blend it out to the sides. Like I said, this is a very matte foundation, so I'm not going crazy with the powder. I'm really only gonna set my under eyes and maybe the blush a little bit because it is like a dewier blush. You can kind of see it's reflecting, but a lot of that goes away when you put the setting powder down. For bronzer, we have the color Hard Working. I'll go under my chin first so I can kind of see how it blends. Oh, it's a little dark. Oh, okay, we got it. We'll just have to blend it out a little bit, but very pigmented, very nice. And when we add the blush on top too, it'll look better. But if you ever worry about like a product being too pigmented or like too much product on your brush, you can always just tap it off on the back of your hand. That's like another good rule of thumb. And it also pushes the product more into the brush so that you don't have any patchiness when you apply. This is a really pretty color. And for blush, the color that they sent me is Single Mother. This is more like a warm tone pink. A little hint of coral too. Since the bronzer was very pigmented, I am gonna go ahead and tap it off on the back of my hand and then just go on in. I actually don't think that I own a color like this that has more of those corally undertones. I'm gonna go in with my brush that has like a little bit of translucent powder on it and just blend out these edges a little bit so that it's not too harsh. You never know with products, sometimes they just like cling to your face, especially if you have dry patches like me. So I like that it's actually pretty wearable and you can blend with it. We gotta do our lower lash, and we gotta be very careful here because I don't wanna have fallout. I'm gonna take this brush that we use for the black, and since there still is some black in the brush, I'm gonna go ahead and apply it like that because I don't wanna get any fallout, and I did have some fallout with the black color. And then I'm gonna take some of this silver color and pack it in this brush, tap off the excess, and just kind of like work it in that inner corner and a little bit onto the lower lash as well. This is kind of like a fun way to make sure that everything is just cohesive and looks good. I'm gonna use this brown eyeliner in my waterline. Let's actually use a puff to do this. So you just wanna pull it down with the puff. Oh, wow, that's creamy. And the brown is pretty because it kind of makes the green in my eyes pop. Mascara that I've been loving lately is this Bubble Colossal from Maybelline. And I use the color, what is it? Could they make this any smaller? Brownish black. And I've been gravitating more towards these brown black mascaras just because I feel like, again, it makes the green in my eyes pop more. For lip liner, we have Follow Exactly. That is the color. And there also is a sharpener on the end because this is more of like a crayon lip liner. It is so hard to talk and do lip liner. The two colors that I have are definitely more on the warm tone shade, which typically I would use more of a cool tone lipstick, but for the sake of the video, I really want to see the formula of this. This color is called Nothing to Lose, and there's a cat hair on it. Like how? How is there a cat hair on it? Wow, these are creamy. Oh my God, it's like butter. I feel like this is the creamiest lipstick I've ever tried. Okay, listen, the color is off, okay, with the eyes. I'll probably just take my lips off and use more of a cool tone, but there you guys can see, like, this is actually really similar to the color that Taylor Swift wore on the New Heights podcast. I gotta take this off. It just doesn't go well with the eyes, but I love the lips. And this is actually a really good opportunity for me to show you guys, like, if you put on a lipstick that you're not vibing with, which has happened to me on more than one occasion, what I do is I take a makeup wipe, I go outside the lines. I don't know if you guys can really see, but there's a pretty distinct line where the foundation is and where I wiped off. And then I take my sponge, wherever that bitch is hiding, and because we just use this for concealer, you should have product already on it. And what I do is basically just blend over where that line is. It basically fixes it right away. I also hate having foundation and concealer on my lips, so I go ahead and just wipe off on the inside of my lips. And actually, I'm gonna use, wait, where did I just put them? The new Rhode lip liners. I just bought a bunch. The color that I'm using is Lean. Now, the thing is with these lipsticks and lip liner, honestly, they should be marketed more as a lipstick because I think the fact that they're called lip liners when they're kind of more of like a crayon consistency and lipstick consistency kind of throws people off. I saw a lot of reviews where people were saying these aren't good lip liners, they bleed or they blur or whatever, but I think that that's literally the purpose of these, is to kind of have that blurred lip. If you want a sharp lip liner, this is not going to be your gal. The end also has an interesting tool. I'll show you guys. It looks like this. And I think it's meant to kind of sharpen up the line, maybe blend it onto your lip a little bit more. But yeah, I think the marketing is just a little bit off because when you think lip liner, you think harsh line, easy to define, and that's definitely not this. I do like it. Listen, I'm using it now. I bought it. I like it. If you're looking for that sharp line, that is not going to be achievable with these. For lipstick, I'm going to use the Fenty. This is Glazed Donut, and it's like a cool tone pink. Yeah, baby, that's what I'm talking about. And I'm not gonna forget to look at my teeth this time and see if there's any lipstick on it, like last time. And then we're just gonna melt everything into the skin with this one size powder melt. Let it dry. And this is our finished look. I think it came out absolutely amazing. But before we actually finish, I want to show you guys how to make the eyeshadow blend in better with your foundation. So I'm going to take a brush. It has no product on it. And I'm going to feather out these edges. And that way it kind of just blends better with your foundation, because remember, we do our foundation after eyes. When you do that, you can get a harsh line. So we want to make sure that we're doing this step. This is super important, especially when you don't have a wing on. Sometimes the wing can do a good job at separating the eyeshadow from the foundation. When you don't have a wing, you really need to take this step into consideration. I also like to use this on the inner corners of the eyes too, because we do add add eyeshadow there, and it just does a really good job at cleaning everything up. You can never blend enough. One thing I do just want to add to the face so that we have a little bit more dimension is use the Patrick Ta highlighter, and I'm gonna just add a little bit right there. Now, this is our finished look. What do you guys think? I actually love the way that it all worked and played together. I have to say, these eyeshadows are incredible. They're definitely the star of the show for me. The formula and the texture of them is so unique. I don't think I've ever felt an eyeshadow like this. Like the black color is almost wet. Like, I don't know how to explain it. They were buildable, very easy to use, and they all blended together very, very nicely. It's definitely super unique to launch 8 eyeshadow palettes. I love that Hung kind of just went for it. The eyeshadow palettes were a 10 out of 10 for me. Like, I have never used a formula like that in my entire life. The blush and the bronzers, I would say, is an 8 out of 10. The lipstick formula itself, not going off of the colors, because the colors definitely didn't work with this look. I would say the lipsticks are a 9 out of 10. I have never felt something that creamy. The lip liner is an 8 out of 10 just because I personally like a pencil liner better, but that's preference, you know? But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I really love this look. I feel like it's great for like a little winter wonderland vibes, even though my brain is still very much so in summer and I will not be decorating my house for Halloween until October. I definitely can sit here without a shy of a doubt. A shout of a doubt? A shy of a doubt? Is that the expression? Without a shadow of a doubt. Anyone home? But yeah, I could definitely recommend this collection without a shadow of a doubt, meaning I really like it. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. And if you like what you see, please consider subscribing, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.